Yo, what's up everybody? RageCage20 here, back with Jonathan Young 2015 shit. Today we have Game of Thrones plus Skyrim Mashup. And as I said at the end of the other video, that makes a lot of sense to me. I know the Skyrim main theme is in 6.8. I'm pretty sure the Game of Thrones theme song is also in 6.8, so it would make perfect sense that they could mash up very easily, and they're both kind of very heroic in their own way, so that makes a lot of sense. How exactly he's going to do that? No idea. The one split second of it starting up, I saw the ring Game of Thrones thingy and whatnot, and it sounds like he's starting with the Game of Thrones splash in there. How that's going to go from there? No idea. But I'm excited to find out. So, let's see what you got, John. Give me your best. I'm sure you won't disappoint. I mean, you got Game of Thrones and Skyrim music. I don't think you can go wrong there, especially if you get some guitars in there. I was not even speculating. Let's just get a taste of this glory. Let's go. Oh, I get it. Wow, that was short. I guess that makes sense.
What's up, youngsters? John.
Whew. Oh, Johnny. Oh, Johnny boy. That was a short one. That was a real quick one. It was a good, like, 2.5 minutes there. Which is not bad. That in itself is not bad. So it's the... Well, because, I mean, obviously the Game of Thrones main theme song does not have lyrics. So that makes sense. So it's the Game of Thrones music with the Skyrim lyrics. Very interesting. Now here's a little unknown nerd fact about myself. So when I was hitting up college, what was I... sophomore, junior, something like that. I don't know. Lindsey Sterling and Peter Hollins dropped that sick Skyrim shit, and it was when Skyrim came out, right? So that would have been yeah, that was that was definitely around sophomore junior year. and they dropped that, and then there was a lot of other covers like Maluka did an amazing Dragonborn Comes cover, and then a dude, I think he goes by the name Wolfgang, recorded himself on top of Maluka and had a male female vocal harmony thing going on with the Dragonborn Comes. When that shit came out, I think I don't know if I think I printed out the lyrics or like typed them out or something. Took them from the internet and whatnot, and I memorized the the lyrics in that dragon language, which do they call it? Dova, isn't that? I think. Anyways, yeah. So I memorized that whole the whole lyrics of all that stuff. I don't know if I could still do it all from memory, but yeah, no, I was deep in that shit. I even performed the Wolfgang Maluka Dragonborn Comes song live on campus for a student recital with another wonderful singer, and we had a guitar player as well. It was fun. So I got pretty deep into Skyrim, as everyone fucking did around. Like, you literally could not go anywhere without seeing someone's dorm, them playing Skyrim, someone talking about Skyrim. People that didn't play Skyrim were sick of Skyrim, hearing about Skyrim. Like, Skyrim was big, dude. Probably I logged a good 200-300 hours. My friend, I didn't even see him for like a week or two. He was just in his room. We were all very concerned. I was like, we think he's going to class. Skyrim was big. So the reason I tell that is related. The reason I tell that is seeing the beginning of the lyrics, and then it jumps to the kind of like the big climactic moment. He like skips a bunch of lyrics and goes forward to the middle part, and then later goes back to the part before that. I get why he does it, to make it match with the Game of Thrones theme or whatnot, but to hear it make those jumps around there, that was a little odd for me. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say I've ever heard it go in that direction before. But I get it. The flow of everything, the da 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 6 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, that flowed very well together, as I assumed it would. But I feel like he could have leaned into that rhythm a little bit more. I think he could have, not necessarily that rhythm, but he could have leaned into it's like he sang the Skyrim lyrics in the Skyrim rhythm that just so happens to be on top of the Game of Thrones rhythm, instead of singing the Skyrim rhythm, singing the Game of Thrones rhythm, but the Skyrim lyrics. I feel would have mashed up a little bit, because I feel like it was a little off from itself. I feel like it was a little odd and it didn't flow naturally. So I think it would have been a little bit more. I mean, maybe he tried this and it just didn't work. I don't know. I haven't tried it. It's just thoughts I'm having as we're going here. I think it would have gelled a little bit better, and I think I have an example around 145 or when that maybe could have fit a little bit more smoothly there. But besides that, it wasn't bad. I mean, it's a smart idea. I'm sure he recognized as like, oh yeah, these are both in the same time signature. They both have that pulse and 6 ta 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 rhythm. So yeah, I could, obviously two things that nerds love, as he said in the beginning there. Throw them together. It's a clever idea. It's a smart idea. It's a good perception of the time signature and the flow of the song that they would mash up together. And it's not bad. It's not bad. It feels a little rough to me. I don't feel like it perfectly gels. And again, I feel like there might have been a way to smooth out those edges. But in general, it's fun. It's fun. It works. It sounds pretty good. it don't sound bad. So, yeah, we're gonna go back to the beginning here. I did find it. I mean, obviously, it makes sense. It's a lot easier just to use. If you're just gonna use the whole Game of Thrones thing, just use their mix. Because I noticed right away, it's like, oh, he didn't rewrite this or not rewrite it, but he didn't record it himself. He just took the sample and just used that, which makes sense. It's a lot less effort, which I think good idea. I don't blame him for that. But I noticed I was just like, okay, so they just had the Game of Thrones song playing, and he's just acapellaing on top of that. Cool. That's a really cool idea. Let's hear the beginning here and let's see if I can. I literally, the only thing I really have written down here, if I'm gonna be honest, is technically like 3 things. Said, all pre-made with acapella vocals. The mix of the vocals is odd, jumps lines, and then around 145, the mix and could have been better. That's all. That's all I said. So pretty much the stuff I already talked about. But let's go back through it and see if there's anything that catches my attention. We won't go through all of it, but we'll just get a good taste in the middle here, and then we'll just jump ahead a little bit. So I feel like at the beginning here, you have a little bit of both. Kind of sounds like both the songs together at this point, and I don't know if it stays that way through the whole thing or not. But you have the dun 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 from Skyrim, and I also hear a little bit of the dun dun. Kind of like the preamble before it gets into that at the beginning there. I hear like both of those mixed together, so it's a perfect mashup at this moment. But then I feel like Game of Thrones primarily dominates it all, but maybe there is Skyrim in there as well, and I just wasn't paying attention. So the beginning here, it's starting out like it's hitting real good here at the start. It's a good mesh between the two of them. Those deep guttural chants and whatnot in the beginning from Skyrim is really meshing up with the rhythm and the flow like perfectly. It then starts to take a little bit of a turn here, but this first 15-20 seconds is like fucking spot on. This is banging. Oh yeah, this is where it started to take a little turn for me a little bit. What was that? Was that Barbra Streisand? His that part. It sounds like the guys from South Park when they made that like Mecha Barbra Streisand song. Like it sounds like it's supposed to be silly and done almost as a gag, but I actually think is supposed to be serious notes, so it sounds a little off at that point. Those notes, I don't know if meshed well with what's happening at the moment, and maybe that's it. And maybe he's just getting a little too open around with the sound. I don't know. It's a little odd. It's a little odd. And now at this point, Game of Thrones is pretty much completely taken over. Yeah, I think maybe I'm hearing a little bit of string action from Skyrim, but it's mostly Game of Thrones. It's kind of taken on over here, and yeah, I think that's the part. Yeah, once we start to get the lyrics in here is when it starts to fall apart a little bit for me. It's because it's still in the Skyrim rhythm, but with Game of Thrones over it. and it it just sounds like Skyrim for a second, but now I'm back to Game of Thrones. It feels like an interjection instead of a blend and a mashup. So it's just like Game of Thrones, like here's some Skyrim, again back to Game of Thrones. It feels a little too chunked in there, and I think that would have been a little bit better if he would have done the lyrics in the da 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 to that rhythm. I think would have maybe flown a little bit better. But then again, this is just me speculating. Maybe he tried that and was just like, nah, it sounds like shit. I don't know. I haven't tried it myself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you would do that, but like, I don't know. To me, it sounds like it would flow better instead of just kind of to make it more smooth and together rather than just interjecting chunky, separated. I don't know. That's just me. It's alright. It's alright. Yeah, I'm gonna keep rolling out until we get the jump, until we jump forward and hear what's going on in the instrumentation of the Game of Thrones theme to see the justification there. I think he could have done it. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So you couldn't continue with the Skyrim lyrics as they were because of the sweeping nature of the next section of the Game of Thrones melody, but also that middle section there is the climax of the entire Skyrim theme. And so just jumping up to there when the Game of Thrones music itself is not climaxing, it's a weird balance. Like that part sounds like it should be up the da 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 da, that part of the Game of Thrones song. Instead, it's coming like before that when Game of Thrones it's getting a little bit more intense with the music, but it's not up to that crazy climactic part where that's where it's supposed to happen in the Skyrim song. So it's like weird. It doesn't feel like it's mashing. It feels like it's like two songs are trying to fight each other for the spotlight, and it's not super blending for me. I don't know. It could just be me. Yeah, it's just like heroic belting happening in the Skyrim one, and it's just we're still in the smooth, soft territory of the Game of Thrones. It's clashing. It's clashing a little bit there. I don't know. Anyways, let's go to 145 here. Let's just jump ahead a little bit, and let's see what happened here. I think it was something a little good and a little odd at the same time. But I honestly can't remember. So let's find out. Yeah, now we're kind of moving more to the Skyrim, because we're going to come to around the end of the Game of Thrones song. But having a little bits of Game of Thrones in there, so this is all sounding right because it's Skyrim on Skyrim with just a little bit of Game of Thrones underneath. Yeah, again, now we've kind of mostly gotten to Skyrim with a little bit of Game of Thrones undertone, so the rhythm and everything now matches up and makes sense here at the end, which is logical. But it was the part before that when Game of Thrones was ending. Yeah, so we have Game of Thrones wrapping up, so it's kind of the end of the whole thing. And we have a lot of action intensity coming from the Skyrim lyrics and rhythm. It's just, again, it's not gelling, it's rubbing. At least to my ears, it is rubbing. So it's just like, it's really interesting here. But I'm just thinking if he would have changed the lyrics to the da 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 like not had it have to be the entirety of the Skyrim stuff, like maybe have half of the lyrics or something, find a way to make it flow more with the fluid smoothness of the Game of Thrones music instead of the more chunky da 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 da, more staccato-ness, because Game of Thrones, the whole melody is very legato. It's very smooth and very airy when it jumps up to those high notes, and Skyrim is very marcato and staccato, just da 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 da. And so it's just, if you could have taken the lyrics of Skyrim, still have elements of the Skyrim music in it, and made it more smooth and fluid, like have it that way at the beginning like you did during this whole part where the Game of Thrones song takes over, have it more smooth and legato, and kind of maybe even leave out some of the lyrics or leave out a repeat in there from the Skyrim lyrics, and just made it more fit that. And then the end, when it goes more Skyrim, then boom, here comes the Skyrim, and drop the outro like you were doing with the Skyrim flair. Back to the marcato and the staccato notes and all the energy and intensity. I think that would have gelled and flowed way better than what happened in here. And so I think it was a really great idea. And I think it was a very fun attempt. It's a very cool attempt. But I feel like the choice to just do Skyrim straight up and just smash it into Game of Thrones and be like, this will work, just didn't really come together for me. Doesn't mean it's not good for other people. I'm just saying, just for me, it didn't really gel together the way I feel like it could have. But it's fun to try. I like that. They kind of have like really low under, and there's a few notes that will come out and then go back down really quiet. That is super smoothly meshed together with the Skyrim. The intro of this and the outro was fucking spot on. Man, it's really good. Oh, this part here. This part here so much reminded me of Key and Peele. Their valet sketch. They're talking about the dragons coming, straight roasting goats. I saw that and I almost started busting up laughing, just in general. Anyways. And that lute stringy, almost harpsichord like outro there. That's smooth. That's smooth as fuck. It was good. It was good. It was definitely good. I feel like it could have been way better and way smoother, but it was still fun. It was still a fun time. So I ain't mad at the song. It was still enjoyable, I would say, for sure. Don't even have time for that. I don't know. Maybe, probably. Anyways, thank you all so very much for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed and didn't And just remember that this shit's opinion based, and don't get too butthurt about my opinions. Sorry that they didn't match up with yours. And you're welcome if they did match up with yours. I don't know. Seeing the Skyrim stuff at the end, like, reminded me, God, that was such a great game. It is still such a great game. It's just like, I know if I started playing it, I'd probably get bored pretty fast because I sunk weeks worth of hours into that game. I even have hundreds of parts in the playlist on my fucking channel, which I actually started reacting to my own videos of that, and I should get back to that eventually. I was gonna put a bunch of episodes together and whatnot because I did some weird shit. I did some weird shit in those Skyrim videos. I ain't gonna fucking lie to you. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've calmed down a lot at my older age. But fuck, like 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, man, I was fucking wild, dog. And those 20s, man, those 20s will get you. At least the early 20s, man. So yeah, I did some weird shit, man. Some weird shit. But anyways, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Next is the Straight Out of the Blue. Is that what it's called? Someday Out of the Blue. Straight Out of the Blue. I can't find a reason. Yeah, I don't know. I have high hopes that Jonathan Young can pull some magic out of that bad boy, but it's just like the not the Eldorado theme, because that was really great. The Trail We Blaze. It's just like the Trail We Blaze. Just like, I was listening to it, and don't get me wrong, Elton John's amazing. But I was listening to it, and I didn't even finish listening to the original. I got bored like a minute or two in, just like, okay, I think I get it. It just kind of bored me to tears. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'm hoping John can pull some magic out for that one. So thank y'all for joining me. I will see you all next time.